Hello, this is Ron Clymer at Clymer School of Real Estate, and I'm not here to talk to you today about passing the state exam. In fact, I'm hoping that everybody that's watching this has already passed the state exam and is trying to get out there and learn how to make money selling real estate, because that's what this is about. Because what I want to talk to you about today is enthusiasm. If you don't have more enthusiasm than anybody else in your office, then let me suggest to you that you need to lean forward and pay attention to this video, because enthusiasm, by the way, the word enthusiasm, it comes from the word God within, and it's referring to what's inside coming outside. And so don't confuse enthusiasm with animated feeling. That's what you get when you go to a pep rally and you get all excited and you're hot to trot for about 24 hours. That's not enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is that stuff that wakes you up at 5 o'clock in the morning and keeps you up till 10 o'clock at night. By the way, there's an awful lot of people that are enthusiastic about, for instance, a hobby. You know, there's a lot of people on Saturday morning, they get up at 5 o'clock, they head over to the ocean to go fishing or something. They get out there at the boat dock at 8:15, they're out in the ocean by 10, scuba diving or fishing or something like that. Heck, they don't come back till dark. And there's plenty of people the same way about golfing and all kind of hobby activities. Well, what I want you to do is take that enthusiasm, especially if you've got that. I want you to take that kind of enthusiasm and put it into your work. See, when you're enthusiastic about your work, now by the way, if you're not enthusiastic about your work, well, there's some things you can do about that. But see, enthusiasm is what creates the power. It's what creates the fuel. It's that magic potion. It's what makes things go. If you don't have enthusiasm, man, work is a drudgery. Oh my gosh, I gotta go out and see those prospects. You know, can you imagine me coming here to Clymer School of Real Estate and say, oh man, I hate to go down there and teach those guys today. The truth is, I love teaching these classes. And by the way, you can tell if you've ever been to any of my classes. By the way, I'm looking for a teacher, and guess what I'm looking for in a teacher? Somebody that loves to teach. I don't want somebody that needs the money. I want somebody that loves to teach. That's what makes a good teacher. That's what makes a good real estate salesman. Actually, that's what makes a good fill in the blanks, when you just love it. That's what enthusiasm is, except you got to not only love it, it's got to show, it's got to shine. Does that make sense? And there's just so many things. Now, enthusiasm, it makes you think better. It makes you think more clear. It makes you think more enthusiastically and more creatively. Almost all creativity comes from enthusiasm. Now, by the way, if you're thinking, yeah, that sounds good, Ron, and I would like to have more enthusiasm, how can I get some? Well, here's the answer. The number one thing you got to do, you're not going to be enthusiastic about hardly anything if you don't have goals. You got to have goals. Now, you saw my previous tape. I did a tape all about how to set goals, what you need to do to set goals. But if you've got goals, you're going to be more enthusiastic than if you don't. By the way, I've got very specific goals here at Clymer School of Real Estate. I've got very specific goals, and every morning when I get out of bed or when I first get here to the classroom, I sit down with this little book and I write down 10 things I can do to increase my attendance. I'll do that every single morning, and I write down 10 ideas, sometimes more, but I always write down 10. Now, the second thing you want to do, if you want to have more enthusiasm, is you got to believe what you're doing is going to work. If you don't believe it's going to work, you're not going to be enthusiastic about it. And if you don't know how to make yourself believe, stop and think about it. You know, selling real estate is such a perfect example, because I don't see how anybody can be in a real estate office where there's a guy sitting right across the room making $20,000 a month, and you think, well, oh, that guy's making $20,000 a month, but I can't make $20,000 a month. Sure you can. There's a guy right across the room that's doing it. What, does he seem like he's different than you? He's just a regular old guy like you. He's probably a little more enthusiastic about selling real estate if you're not making that much money. But here's the deal. Anytime you want to increase enthusiasm for something, and I think you could just pick a subject out of the dictionary and become enthusiastic about it if you did these things. If you start studying a particular subject, let's say you started studying something and you studied it all the time. You're reading books about it, you're reading articles about it, you're Googling it to see what's new about it, and you just start studying it all the time. You're not going to study about something and learn more about it without becoming more enthusiastic about it. I mean, does that just make sense? Now, when I say study, when people come to Clymer School of Real Estate, they want to pass the state exam. Well, the truth is, you better get enthusiastic about passing the state exam for, about 30 days, for the time it takes to do it. You need to just forget all that other stuff. Forget that watching TV and work on this. Well, it's the same thing. When you get enthusiastic about making $20,000 a month selling real estate, you ain't gonna have time to watch TV. Oh, I gotta read this article. I gotta finish this Tommy Hopkins book. I gotta finish this book about salesmanship here. But go down to the library, look up salesmanship in the Dewey Decimal System, check out about 15 books about salesmanship, and start reading them. You're gonna become more enthusiastic. Does that make sense? By the way, watching this video is a good start. And by the way, as you become more enthusiastic, you're going to become better. Because see, the way you get enthusiastic about something is you start to get good at it. You start to get good at it. As you get good, you get more enthusiastic. As you get more enthusiastic, you get more good. Is that a word? More good? Gooder? No. Better. That's the word I'm looking for. As you get better, you get more enthusiastic. Pretty soon you're real good. When you're real good or really good, people start to notice, and then it gets easier. So you work on getting good, enthusiasm will happen by itself, and pretty soon it'll get easy. And trust me, that's true. So set yourself some goals. Believe you can do it. Start studying everything in sight and get good and work at getting good and make yourself a goal to get good. You know what good is. I know what good is. Your sales manager knows what good is. Get good. Thank you.